Everybody, of course, was horrified by what happened in Colorado, but are they changing their thinking? And we wanted to have News 10's Jeff Maher check in with us because there's some new research out there that says apparently we're not really changing our minds.
Yeah, Jeff, what can you tell us about this latest poll that's out?
Kiba, Dan, good morning. I can tell you that this was conducted by the Pew Research Center, and this research organization has conducted many studies when it comes to gun control, both prior to and after infamous shootings such as the one in Colorado. And what they have found each time is that there really is not a significant change in public perception when it comes to gun control laws, despite what happened. Now, take a look at these figures. According to the latest research in polls that were done after the Aurora shooting, 47% said it's gun ownership, while 46% say it's more important to protect the rights of Americans who own guns. The same poll was conducted before the shooting, and you can see that there's pretty much the same outcome. 45% prioritized gun control and 49% favored gun rights. The Pew Research Center went further with the study, surveying over 1,000 adults about the Aurora shooting. 67% surveyed felt like it was just an isolated act at the hands of a troubled individual. The rest, which make up only a quarter of those surveyed, felt like the shooting and others similar to it reflected broader problems in American society. The same survey found similar figures after the Tucson shooting last year, where Gabrielle Giffords was shot, but people seem to have a different take on gun control a little bit following the Virginia Tech massacre, where 60% wanted tighter gun control laws and 46% felt like it was not an isolated act, but rather one that reflected bigger, deeper problems in our society. And Dan, Kiba, we should also mention another interesting thing that was pointed out in this survey is that they broke it down by gender. 57% of men prioritize gun rights, while 56% of women prioritize gun control. So some interesting figures there as this debate continues following the Aurora shooting. Guys, back to you.
Well, Jeff, we know that you spent some time there right after the shooting. You were there for a few days in Colorado. What did you get from the people on the streets there? Did this come up, or was it still too raw, too soon at that point?
The issue did come up probably in the third or fourth day outside of the theater at the memorial, when I was asking people how they felt about returning to the Century 16 Theater in light of what happened. And really, most people just want to get back to their daily routines, their daily habits. They don't want to think that this is reflective of our society. They want to think that this is just an isolated individual. And we have yet to determine exactly the mental state of James Holmes. That's going to be a huge factor in his case moving forward. But when you look at other shootings, including Virginia Tech with Sung-Wee Cho and Jared Loughner with the Gabrielle Giffords shooting, they tend to believe that these are people who have mental issues and isolated acts, rather than a problem that we need to be more worried about.
Yeah. And we should point out too, Jeff, that the poll findings mirror pretty much what we've heard from politicians, in that there's not going to be any major effort undertaken to try to put gun control legislation before either the Congress or a state legislature at this point either.
Right, and that may come as a surprise to some people, considering that it appears these guns were purchased legally. But when you look at the grand scheme of things and preventing these types of things, some people say, you know, it's when it comes to automatic firearms that those should be banned, and maybe just handguns should be allowed, because really, why does anyone need an automatic firearm for any reason? But then you look at the Virginia Tech massacre, 32 people were killed, and that was with essentially 2 Glock handguns.
Sure. No, it's not an easy answer. Thanks, Jeff.
Sure.